to see better tempo. I guess how exactly do you guys go about achieving that?
I'd say it starts with practice. Just repping it. I think we do a pretty good job of having a great pace in practice. That's ever since Coach Dearman has been our OC. But no, I'd say just repping it throughout the week.
Is it more difficult to string together, or more difficult to have tempo whenever you're having some 3 and outs and you don't want to put your defense in a bad position?
I'd say it definitely is. If you're not in that flow, if you're not in that rhythm, it is hard to get into tempo. But that's a great thing about it. It can take one play. One play can get the whole thing going.
Carter, you talked about liking the play calling the last 2 drives. What went right the last 2 drives for you guys?
It was definitely more pass heavy, but it was all the calls that we've had this whole week. Or last 2 weeks, I guess. But it's not like we kind of just threw in some new stuff. It was all plays that we repped, and our guys just continuing to fight for 60 minutes.
Did you get a sense of why maybe the play calling was a little more aggressive there in the second half when you came back in than it was in the first half?
I'd say just the situation. Us being down 24-0 at half. You got to go. So I'd say that was a big part of it. Kind of also some things that we were seeing with them.
Who told you at halftime that you were going to sit for the start?
Coach Dearman. It was at the very end of halftime. Coach Dearman said that, and then Coach Miles came over right after just to kind of reassured. And it was tough for me a little bit, but it's about the team.
What was the explanation then from them?
They just said, we're going to go with Manny for this first drive in the second half, and it's try to get something going, try to get a little spark.
It was just the first drive at that point, or
I think that's what was said, unless I misheard it right. But
did you get a sense of whose decision that was?
No, it's just seemed like a coaching decision, and it's what it is.
What was Coach Dearman's message after the game?
It was tough. It was just just one of those things where it's back to work. It wasn't our week. We definitely came up short, and I still have full faith in this coaching staff and these great people we have in this building. But it just wasn't our week.
How have you seen him handle the adversity of the last couple games?
He handles it really well. He's all business. He's all full go, just business-like approach. And win or loss, he does a great job of bouncing back and getting this offense mentally in the state of bouncing back.
It's not really your job to care about what the quarterback position looks like after you're gone, but for some of the guys that will potentially play next year, like McVitie and Lachlan and some of the younger guys, what might fans be interested to learn about what they look like in practice, just for the future?
Yeah, there's a group of guys that they go to work every day, whether they're working with the 1s and 2s on offense or being scout team down there. It's a group of hardworking guys, really high character guys. It's McVitie, it's Miles Fallon, it's Miles Kendrick. Those guys, they're working really hard. So they all definitely bring something different to the table, skill wise and technique wise. But just some high character people.
Is that a pretty difficult spot for Thomas to, his first pass of his career? He's kind of like in a trick play, lined up at receiver.
Yeah, trick plays like that it's really tough sometimes on the person who's throwing the ball, whether it's a quarterback or a receiver out there, because if you look at those plays, there's so much commotion going on, and I think we did a great job of blocking it actually. I think the original plan was to hit Stephon deeper down the field, but they covered it pretty well, and so he actually went through his progression. He was going to Puka, and with all those moving parts, it's a tough situation.
That trick play came after the challenge for Dylan's catch. Who brought up doing the trick play then in the huddle?
I'd say Coach Dearman. I wasn't didn't really notice exactly who brought it up, but I'd say it was Coach Dearman. It's a play that we've been practicing for 3 weeks, I think now. So definitely have had enough reps at it, but just kind of an unfortunate outcome.